Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome to a new episode of the Gaming Chitchat Show. We got a special one for you today. This is in celebration of the 30th anniversary of one of the most iconic gaming franchises and one that is most dear to me growing up, Mortal Kombat 30th anniversary. Wow. So this is going to be kind of like memories, and you've probably heard these stories millions of times. So growing up, I was a arcade kid. I grew up in the arcades, and back in the day, arcades were kind of like movie theaters where you would see the game for the first time and play the game before the game came out to home console. Now, this is before the days of the internet, before the days of YouTube, and we had gaming magazines, and that was it. Now, I grew up. I was fortunate enough to grow up down the Jersey Shore. We had a winter house right across the street from one of the biggest boardwalks on the Jersey Shore, the Seaside Heights Ortley Beach down in Jersey. And at the time, it was massive. Some of the biggest arcades to the right, to the left, not too far down, about a few blocks, we had another arcade. That arcade was called Barnacle Bill's, and that was like a couple cabinets, a batting cage. So what I would do is I would do half and half. I would do half my time at Barnacle, and I would go half on the boardwalk and hit every arcade. This is how I grew up playing Street Fighter, going into an arcade and, playing hours and dumping hundreds of dollars worth of quarters into Street Fighter and Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, and every summer and every winter or whatever, because we went there year round, and some arcades would stay open, some would shut down, the boardwalk would shut down. And every summer, because I wasn't a rides guy, I wasn't into rides, I was into like the music shops, t-shirts and all that, but I spent my time playing arcade games, and mostly fighting games. Tekken later on, Virtual Fighter, Dead or Alive, Killer Instinct, but it was basically Street Fighter at the time, and then eventually Mortal Kombat, and that's how it happened. Now, I think it was Barnacle Bill's. It was before I even went onto the boardwalk, and I went on, and the funny thing with Mortal Kombat is the sound. That's what I remember out of everything, was the sound of the arcade cabinet. Now, this was definitely intensified when MK2 came out. When MK2 came out, they had an unbelievable machine. I mean, this machine was decked. It was like the real fancy cabinet with like the speakers on the side. And when you walked in, you could hear, excellent, outstanding, finish him. And it was like your skin would crawl. And every summer when I would get down there, it would be a new game. And, Mortal Kombat 2, that was mind-blowing. But Mortal Kombat 1 was just unbelievable. It was like, and the graphics were like, actual real graphics of real people. So at the time, it was like jaw-dropping to see something like that. And I remember going home and telling my parents all about it at the dinner table, and calling my cousins back home and telling them about it. Oh my God, I played Mortal Kombat, because the best was the Mortal Kombat commercials back at home when you had the kids screaming, Mortal Kombat. That shit stuck with you. Now, everybody's always talking about when the game came out on home console. Super Nintendo versus Genesis. The Genesis had the blood, but the Super Nintendo was the better. Well, when that time came, I bought both copies because I had the Genesis and I had the Super Nintendo. But see, my time with the home version of the Mortal Kombat was on the PC. I went to my local because I was like I said, and I've said this a million times before, I was a PC gamer. At one time, I was strictly a PC gamer. I don't know what it was at the time. Whatever I had, my Tandy, my Pentium, whatever, Turbo Boost, whatever it was, MMX chip, playing Doom and Hexen and Descent, Wolfenstein, Phantasmagoria, Myst, whatever it was. So what I did was I went to my computer shop, and there it was. Mortal Kombat. It was a 3.5 disc. And I think it was on 3 discs, which later somehow caught a virus, sharing it with my idiot friends. And I installed it onto my computer, and I remember calling my cousin, and my cousin that got me into PC gaming, my cousin that got me into Mortal Kombat, and I said, you gotta see it. You gotta come over. I got it in my house now. Mortal Kombat, you gotta see it on the computer. It's like lifelike. He goes, I know, man. I know all about it. Sonya and Johnny Cage, Scorpion, I know. And I had him on the phone listening to it through the speakers. Imagine 30th anniversary. Wow. I mean, I could Mortal Kombat 1 was massive. But yeah, I mean, we had Mortal Kombat 2. Mortal Kombat 2 like changed my life. I'm going to tell you a little bonus. I'm going to tell you a bonus story. But before that, Mortal Kombat 3, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. My favorite of all was Mortal Kombat Trilogy. Now, I owned the PlayStation version. That was what I played them all. Saturn, N64. I'm big into the Mugens too on the PC, but Mortal Kombat Trilogy was like the best of everything. Every character, every background. You want to play everything from the original 2D era. You played it on Mortal Kombat Trilogy. Now, I bought my copy day one. I can remember the day clearly at Toys R Us. And I came home and my other cousin came over. And we played it. And he goes, oh, you got this? I said, yeah. Now, through the years, I had moved. No, I didn't move. I had planned to move. And somehow, my copy of Mortal Kombat Trilogy on the PlayStation got lost. And by then, it was like eBay only type deal. So I kept procrastinating for the collection because I was a big collector by then. Because I had most of the stuff in my collection was mine from never getting rid of it as a child. Only a few things did I have to re-get and buy again. So long story short, I procrastinated and I never got it. Christmas time came, and my wife says, you got one more gift. And she gives me this big box. My brother-in-law was there. She gives me this big box. I open it. There's another box in it. I open it. There's another box in it. I open it. At this point, I'm like, oh, somebody's messing with me. This is a joke. My wife is laughing hysterical. Everybody else around me is just making fun of me. Like, they're not in on it. They don't know. All of a sudden, I finally get to the last box, and it's Mortal Kombat Trilogy on PlayStation from eBay. Mint. She found a mint copy. Let's just say that was a happy Christmas. Guys, what Mortal Kombat stories do you have? happy 30th anniversary. Mortal Kombat is an awesome franchise. I'm actually just putting I'm putting back 11 Ultimate back on my Steam Deck. I got X on there. There's a mobile game coming out next year. We're going to have to check that out. Hopefully Ed Boon announces the next one soon. I think it's going to be an Injustice, but we'll see. Injustice 3. Either way, I can't wait for the next fighting game from him. Take care, guys. Do you have a Mortal Kombat 1 memory? Share it below, or Mortal Kombat memory in general. Take care, guys, and I hope to see you on the next episode of Gaming Chit Chat. Later.